We're recording.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Brooklyn Tea Party Zoom meeting for January 22nd, 2023. Our meeting was moved to Zoom due to some of our members not feeling well. We wish them well. So we are going to do the Zoom today, and we thank everyone in our audience for joining us today. We're going to start off our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if everyone could start off with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with
liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. We're going to start off our meeting with our swearing-in ceremony of the Brooklyn Tea Party officers for the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer. I'm starting my 8th term as president of the Brooklyn Tea Party. I would like to thank everyone for your support throughout the years to make this organization continue on and thrive and grow each and every year. So thank you for your support in that endeavor. So without further ado, I'm going to start off. I have to look at our swearing in with, we're going to do 2 people at the same time. Should we do 2 at the same time, Larry, or 1 and 1?
I don't think you should do 2 at the same time.
I think everybody's got to be individual.
Yes.
Okay. So let me just see what I had written for the swearing in.
I think you had sent it to Sherry.
Yeah. I have it somewhere. I found it. Okay.
Jose.
Okay, I got it. We'll start off with Larry Schneier, our
Jose.
vice president.
Jose Peralta. Okay.
Larry, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, just raise your right hand like this.
You swear that.
And I
I,
state your name.
Larry Schneier,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of
the office of vice president
the Brooklyn Tea Party
of the Brooklyn Tea Party
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve,
preserve
and protect
and protect
and defend its
And defend.
Constitution.
its Constitution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Now, our next person is going to be our secretary, and that would be Shari. Shari, could you please raise your right hand? And I state your
I
name.
state my name. No, Sharon.
Do solemnly swear
Solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of
the office of secretary of the Brooklyn Tea Party
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve and protect
preserve and protect
and defend its Constitution.
and defend its Constitution.
Thank you very much. Welcome aboard, Madam Secretary. Okay, I think I'll pull it over to the for the rest of us for I guess who wants to do that, Larry or Shari?
Wait, for swearing you in?
Swearing me in, yeah, don't curse at me.
You should do it.
Glenn, I'll swear you
The
in.
secretary will do it.
Okay, go ahead.
I state your name.
I, Glenn Nocera,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of president
the office of president
of the Brooklyn Tea Party
of the Brooklyn Tea Party
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve and protect and defend its Constitution.
and defend its Constitution. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And now our treasurer, Donna. please enter.
You should do that.
Okay, now raise your right hand, Donna, and just repeat. Remember, you're being sworn in for secretary. I'm sorry, treasurer of the Brooklyn Tea Party. So go ahead. You want me to do it or you want to do it? I'll read it off to her, okay? I
I,
state your name,
Donna Nocera,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of treasurer
the office of treasurer
of the Brooklyn Tea Party
of the Brooklyn Tea Party
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve and protect
preserve and protect
and defend its Constitution.
and defend its Constitution.
Thank you. Welcome aboard again for another term as treasurer of the Brooklyn Tea Party. Thank you, Donna. And you'll hear the meeting from the background.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. For the members of the audience, we had to get through this logistic part of our meeting. It's for our organizational structure. So without further ado, like I said, welcome aboard. Thank you for joining us in our Zoom meeting. Hey, look, we're better than, look, we care about the environment, right? And that is why we are doing Zoom today in honor of the Davos. You know, for the people that took their corporate jets and their private jets to Davos to talk about climate change, and then, you know, have enough carbon footprint of 350,000 cars they're producing from their little private jets, when they could just do it on Zoom. Would be easier if they really cared about the environment. But we all know that they're just a bunch of hypocrites. So thank you for joining us today. Now, topics in the news today. We found out that we had more documents found in good old Joe Biden's little enclave there in Wilmington, Delaware, in his, what is his beach home or something like that. I believe they said they found 6 more items. Now, we don't know what the items mean. It could mean 6 more pages. It could mean 6 more boxes. We don't know what they mean by that. So 6 more. This is breaking news as of today. They apparently found that Friday. So more. So, you know, they found other drops in the Biden Center from Penn University, which was funded by the Chinese with over 30 million or more in donations from the Chinese. And, you know, it leads you to believe what is going on here. So 6 more documents found. I don't know if it was found in the Corvette or near the Corvette, but either way, the FBI was apparently there to see that. And apparently these documents are not just from when he was vice president, but senator. Now, when you have these top secret documents, you have to be in a SCIF. A SCIF is where, like, a certain area where you have to look at these documents, and then you give it, once you're finished with the document, you put the document with someone that has clearance. They put it in their little bag and they walk it off to wherever it needs to go to. So in the SCIF, it's like a room. You read the documents that you need pertaining to whatever the issues are that you're dealing with as a senator, and then you're supposed to give it over. But apparently, we don't know how far back, because Joe Biden just celebrated his 50th year in politics, because that's when he first took office as senator in 1973. So who's to say where this came from, what year it came from? Is it about Richard Nixon's, you know, Watergate? Who knows? For all we know, it's about the Warren Commission. Maybe we will find out who really killed John F. Kennedy. So who knows what these documents are really about? All we know is that there's a problem here, because each and every day we keep on finding more and more documents. Also, other things in the news that we've seen breaking this morning is Antifa. Antifa should be considered a terrorist organization. Enough is enough. Today, they, or last night, they wanted violence. They kept on calling for violence on Twitter, and it was taken down. But this is a terrorist organization, in my opinion. They are they attacked a police training facility in Georgia, downtown Georgia. Now, what are they attacking? For training? Don't they want police to be trained? I don't get what the big deal was. Now, obviously, they're upset with the recent shooting that happened. I believe it was from a Black Lives Matter guy. I'm not sure about that full case regarding that. Someone could hopefully enlighten me about that. But there was, they did fire bombings. They burnt a car or so in front of the station or this building for the training facility, and they smashed the windows, and they're throwing like firebomb type stuff at it. It's quite disgusting, but yet they talk about the January 6th, right? They keep on talking about, oh, the end of the world is happening. Oh, look what they're doing. Look. And look what's happening just in our streets of America. But yet this organization, there's no hearings about Antifa. And I hope the Republicans start to wake up and actually do hearings about Antifa and find out what is going on with this terrorist organization. So these are the couple of topics we wanted to touch upon. Of course, the floor is open to any other topics of the day that the members would like to talk about. So with that being said, Larry, we have any questions from the audience, or if anyone wants to add to what I was saying, or any other topics that they wanted to bring up? Go ahead, Larry.
I mean, I don't, yeah, nobody put anything in the chat yet, but if somebody wants to raise it, they can either raise their hand or put something in the chat and we could discuss it.
Also, for attendance purposes, who is 917-678-7740?
Yeah, that might be Hetty. Is that Hetty?
Benny Rosenberger.
Benny
Who?
Rosenberger. Benny
Oh, Benny
Rosenberger?
Rosenberg. Okay,
Yes.
He was at a couple of our meetings. Benny
yes.
Rosenberger.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't have a video on my computer, so I couldn't join on video.
No problem. Thank you,
problem.
Benny, for joining us.
I had a question.
Yes, Benny, go ahead.
What is our involvement with the race for the RNC chair?
Well, we don't have a direct involvement.
my
in that. We don't have a direct involvement of that as of yet. Do you have any suggestions of what you think? Someone, who do you think should be picked?
Well, I think we need a change of leadership there, because we already have 5 failed election cycles, and whatever they're doing is, it's not good.
Right.
I know that. I know that the Darmeet is running or something. I think she's a good pick.
Mhm. And
I think,
who else you heard as potential candidates for that position?
and I think Mike Lindell is also running, I believe.
Mike Lindell, okay. And also we have our state chair position also open for New York State party chairman. And because Nick Longworthy became congressman, so he's giving, I believe he's giving that position up, unless he's running for that too again. I don't think he is. So I hear Michael Henry, who ran for, I believe, was the Attorney General. He is in the running for state chair. There's also other declared members. I've received mail from some other people, but I didn't get a chance to open that yet. So there's other candidates that would like to run for that position. We have a question.
There was, I'll just say one other thing, RNC chair, there was also talk about Lee Zeldin, but he seems to not really want it, but I think he would be good. I know there was talk about him. You're right, also Mike Lindell. But
Right.
I think, we don't really have taken an official position on that, but I will agree that I think personally Ronna McDaniel has not done a good job, and she should be replaced by somebody. I think
Absolutely.
anybody would be better. I actually think Lee Zeldin would be great at that, because even though Lee Zeldin unfortunately did not win the governorship, but he did have a trickle-down effect. You see in the state assembly, I believe also certain council members were Republicans, got gains in New York. So He definitely has some power.
I agree, Ed. Lee is, I don't know, with his future in New York politics, I could see him maybe running for Senate. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I think so.
When is that coming up for grabs? Is that next year?
Yeah, I believe so. 2024.
Right, for Gillibrandt's seat, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
it would
think
be.
he would, I think he, I hope he runs for that position because I think he has a good shot, especially the showing he showed for governor. And that was a statewide race. And obviously Senate is a statewide race. I think hopefully that will gain traction, hopefully for the Senate. And I think right now he's the best shot that we have in our minor league system of people, I think, of potential candidates for that position. I will drop him a line personally and text him and say, hey, Lee, thinking about Senate? I mean, obviously he has his plans already set in place. He knows what he's going to be doing, hopefully, because we need his voice. We need someone like him in the Senate, governor position, whatever position that he would like to run, because he is actually a good person to boot, but also a good, I think, potential candidate for these positions in the future for our state, because we need to gain some traction in our state politics, because this is absolutely ridiculous that the two senators from New York are all Democrats, the governor, Democrat, the state attorney general, governor, is a Democrat, the state Senate controlled by the Democrats, state assembly controlled by the Democrats. Could we like spread it around a little, people?
Yeah.
Another fun topic, because when you have one party rule, right, especially when the left is in charge of things, what do they tend to do? They tend to be the people that they call Republicans, right? They tend to be the people that say, in the 1960s, oh, the Republicans are, like get off our lawn type of people, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Stick in the mud type people. But yet, now that they're in charge, they're the ones that seem to be the humorless type people, right? Everyone's offended about everything. They seem to be the type that likes the nanny state on everything. Now, for example, in New York City, there is a bill that was passed and has to be signed by the mayor. I'm sure he will sign it. But even if he doesn't sign it, I'm sure they have enough votes to override it in a veto. And that is just this little nuisance types of stuff that they are trying to do every day with us as citizens. That's why people are leaving the state. People are sick and tired of the high taxes and just the plain stupidity of everything. And this particular nuisance type of a bill, like there's nothing else going on, like with the homeless situation, with the crime that we see in our streets, they think the wonderful geniuses in the city council thinks it's very imperative that when you order Chinese food or when you order anything from Grubhub or whatever, they're not a sponsor of us, but either way, when you order, that you have to. Now, I'm surprised they didn't say banned altogether. They read the bill yesterday. I'm surprised they didn't say banned altogether. So at least we have to keep remembering, just like we have to remember when we go out and we're walking, we say, hey, maybe I want to go shopping. Yeah, you know what, let's go shopping. No, we all have to remember that we have to be pack mules, right? We have to be pack mules. We have to have a whole bunch of bags with us. Anytime we decide at the last second, oh, let's go shopping. No, we need those cloth bags with us forever. It's absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, this bill is that you can't get any plastic forks, any plastic spoons. Hey, you ordered Chinese food. Don't you like little duck sauce and hot mustard and hot sauce on your rice or anything like that? Well, not with this bill. This bill, you have to ask. If you forget to ask, you're not getting it. And you won't get spoons. So if you order the wonton soup, you're not getting the spoon. Like, let's say you're at work or something. You don't have your utensils with you. You won't get it because these businesses have a potential to be fined $400. That is disgusting. I mean, $400 fine just because they threw in a spoon. Okay. But thank God it's not totally crazy way. At least you could ask for it. How nice that they
Yeah.
left that. Like with the plastic
Yeah.
straws, you have to ask for the
You
straw.
have to ask, there's a checkbox on your order, like if you want, like the plastic, the utensils. Otherwise, they won't give it to you.
Right.
I haven't heard about the condiments, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that was added. One couple
Okay.
news articles or a news story just mentioned about plastic forks and spoons, but it also
Right.
includes the condiments too. So this is to reduce the plastic waste. Give me a break. It's not going to reduce anything, and it's just another annoying thing that New York State and New York City is constantly doing because we have one party rule. That is why it's important, people, to recruit candidates and get people that you know to get out and vote on election day, because we got to stop this craziness and stupidity.
Well, it's a deterrent against what's really going on with
Right.
the crime. And what
Right.
about, you can't have plastic forks, but you can give marijuana to children?
Right. And,
You know, is there people staying online? They shouldn't allow children waiting online for their parents to get marijuana.
right. Well,
That should be like one time children weren't allowed in the bar. Why is a child allowed to stand online while his parents purchase marijuana?
yeah,
Right, and
also
how is
don't-
the marijuana served? In plastic containers? Is it in paper bags?
yeah,
How are
really.
they gonna get the marijuana? They have little condiments like, or, when
Right.
they sell certain size of marijuana.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they sell-
Where's their carbon footprint, huh? They're smoking it up.
Yes, I mean, anything you put in your body that smoke is not healthy for your body. And
And
why are their
don't
children,
forget the government issued crack pipes that they like to give
and
out.
crack pipes and what the needles for drugs?
I
Those
think-
are plastic.
Oh, absolutely. It's ridiculous. That's a good point that you're making, Rudy. Also, we have, I think, Larry, we have what? Ramon has his hand up. Ramon Hernandez. He has a question.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, Ramon.
there you go, Ramon. Hey.
How's it going?
Okay.
How's it
How are
going,
you?
Glenn? Hey,
Good.
Jason. This is something I've been paying attention as well. And I started to see it start to get to a point that it's getting a lot dumber than ever. Now they want to get rid of all everything that's plastic. Then what's the next thing they're going to happen?
Oh,
They're going to get rid.
Well, the next thing is they're going to tell banks, Ramon, see this plastic Chase pen? It's
Yes.
plastic. It's a complimentary pen that they give out when you, whatever. Oh, you can't do that. Don't give out plastic pens. Where will it end? You're right, Ramon.
And I still got my plastic bag because I defy the government myself. But there's something important that could be helpful because of the one party rule issue, and also current leadership in the Republican Party are also failing. In other words, some of them are giving the knee to Democrats, like they're the welfare system and we're the recipients. And also because of the vote by mail issue that people have been complaining, I actually suggested that I think it's time for the Republican Party to start adapting to the vote by mail system and turn it into our advantage to
Correct.
start winning seats. And the most important thing is teamwork.
Yes. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. You got to learn from your enemies, as they say. They doing it right. Okay, they're finding a way. They get the unions involved. They get the buses out. Whatever they need to do to get the votes out. Right. They're the ones. They have a month. It's a voting, not voting day. It's a voting month. Before you know, it's a voting year. Hey, maybe in the summer I'll decide to vote. When will it end? But either way, we got to take advantage of that. I agree with you wholeheartedly. We need to get the votes out, absentee ballots for those who need it. When you're running around for signatures or you're the candidate, have these forms ready. We need to get out to vote because we lose far too many elections on like day 40 of the recount, it seems like. It's always these votes that come out of nowhere, all right, that all of a sudden they do that. So look, at the end of the day, we need to adapt to the situation. We cannot be stuck in the mud like we're from 1910. We have to adapt to the situation and take it for our advantage and do it better than what they're doing. So I agree with you, Ramon. We need to start doing that.
There is an idea that could be helpful.
Yeah, go ahead.
If there's a data about any registered Republicans or conservatives who do not go out and vote, I would suggest those are the ones who should start with the vote by mail.
That's a good point. So you're saying if they have not voted, in how long? Because sometimes our voting rolls are so backwards that people could be dead for 20 years and still on this roll. And the way that rolls work is supposedly if they send a piece of mail to your house and the person, because they didn't see them vote for XYZ years,
Hmm.
if someone doesn't return it back to them, if I recall correctly, stating doesn't live here or something like that, then they take them off the rolls. If no one returns anything, they stay on. So that means the person could have moved from that house for 20 years ago. And if someone, the new current occupants of the house or apartment, say, this is junk mail, throwing it away, they stay on. And the other way to get rid of a person that passes away is you have to submit, if you're a family member, you have to submit to the Board of Elections a death certificate stating that they died. So that's one way to remove someone. So if you have any family members that, God forbid, passed away in the last whatever years, and you notice when you went out to vote, why is my father still on this voting roll? Well, you got to contact the Board of Elections, and there's a process where you fax them or whatever means that they need. They'll run you through the process. You got to give them a copy of that death certificate so they can take the name off. And then that's very important because you don't want anyone else using your parents or sibling or whoever might have passed name to vote. Okay, because we all know there's a lot of corruption out there. That's one way to expunge that, at least on a personal level, if you had a family member that passed away and you notice they're still on the voting rolls.
I have learned one important thing that I found out. Even Board of Election, they also hold a public meeting.
Mhm.
And if you go to because I checked the ones in my county, and they have a Board of Elections meeting for the public. Unfortunately, that schedule's in the morning where all the conservatives are working that day. So if there is one in Brooklyn, it would actually provide all the answers, the schedules, and the time the meeting will start.
Do we have any members on this line that work for the Board of Elections that know about any public meetings that Ramon was just mentioning? We have anyone on the line now? Just raise your hand. There's a feature button with raising your hand, and let us know if you know of how that process begins, or if they do it on Zoom or whatever they're doing. If I could find out about that, I will let you know through Facebook.
I'm Glenn, it's Linda Lyons.
Hey, Linda. how you doing?
You know, I have been a trainer,
Mhm.
district leader. I've heard of nothing like that whatsoever.
You never heard that in the
Oh.
New York
Oh,
City?
no, that we have that there's any meeting like that at
Okay,
all.
'cause Ramon is from New Jersey, so I think things are a little
Yeah, I
different
think,
out there.
diff-
Yeah, we're more, we're New York. We apparently don't give a crap. So, yeah, so thank you for that enlightenment, Linda.
Yeah.
Folks,
Anyone else?
I mean, I can't even comprehend that would happen. I mean,
okay, folks, I just want to remind you to let us unmute when you want to raise your hand. Please don't unmute yourselves until we say it's okay.
Okay, so if you send a unmute, okay, yeah, just click the unmute button on now I have Maury. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate your insight on that. And if you have any other questions, just let us know. I have Maury Lipson, it looks like has his hand up. Larry?
Yeah, go ahead, Maury.
Maury, I think you have to unmute your thing.
He's unmuted. Go ahead, Maury.
Okay, go ahead, Maury.
There you are. Can't hear you though.
Maury, we having audio issues with you. Are you unmuted?
He's unmuted, but. Oh, he's not unmuted.
Hold on. Try again.
Try again, Maury.
Hold on. This isn't working, all right?
Okay, try now, Maury.
Go ahead. No, we don't hear you.
Let's try one more. Let's unmute. Wait, Maury, are you there? I see you again. No, without a mute. Go ahead, Maury, talk.
Let me
I hear
test my
something.
audio work.
Yeah, Howard, that's you. I hear you.
Yeah, so
We
my
hear
audio
you,
is
Howard.
So it's not an issue with the rest of us. Maury, one more time. Maybe you're having an audio issue with your computer.
Maybe he should
Hi.
type it out. Type it
Good,
out.
Maury, good.
This is Jose. This is Jose from Brooklyn. I
Hey,
wasn't able
Jose.
to unmute until now, so maybe he had the same problem. But now I'm able to unmute.
Oh, you did the unmuting, yes. Yeah, Maury, look for that unmuting thing. I think we might have did that because I didn't see the icon with him muted. All right,
It looks
Maury,
like
if
Maury
anything, type it
unmuted.
out. Maury, just type out your question because apparently it's not working. What do we have in the chat? Is he, did Maury write something yet? Maury, just type it out in the chat since we're not hearing you. All right, and we'll move on to someone else right now, and then Maury, once you type out your question, we'll address that accordingly. All right, so anyone else have anything to add about what is going on in our country? Also, talk about what do you think the Republicans are going to do in the Congress? Look, we all know once again with the these document issues, and everyone says when you look at the pundits, you keep on saying they keep on saying, you know, oh, you know, it's different. You know, Biden gave away, you know, gave his documents willingly to the FBI and to the DOJ and to the archives of the whatever, and he, you know, he cooperated. He cooperated. Number one, he had no authority to declassify documents as vice president. But let's say there's a gray area, maybe he did. He certainly did not have any authority to declassify documents as senator. So anyone, look, if you're a regular person, especially if you're in the military, and you take a picture, like one gentleman did, one officer of the Navy, next to a nuclear sub, okay? The sub is like a top secret sub. So he took one of these little selfie, hey, look, me, an innocent picture. He had to deal with the consequences. I think they arrested him, threw him in the brig or whatever they did.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he served or what happened with him, but he is culpable. He's culpable of that. And, you know, it's ridiculous. So at the end of the day, Joe Biden is not above the law, as they like to say about Trump and all that, but neither is he. He's not above the law because, number one, he had no authority to declassify these classified documents. And he just keeps on coming out each and every day. And look, they are the most transparent administration, like they want to say. They are. They're definitely more transparent because we all know they're a bunch of crooks and criminals. And they're very transparent about the way they're doing things, especially with their press secretary that won't want to take any questions from anyone. Jean-Pierre or whatever heck her name is. She always says the process. Let the process pay out. The process. Look, at the end of the day here, this is ridiculous. January 20th, we're at January 22nd, so 2 days removed from that date. Mark 2 years of this guy in our White House. This is a hellhole. I know everyone says the inflation rate is 6.5%. Oh, it's going down. Give me a break. go try buying eggs, okay? Go try buying anything else. My mortgage has keep on going up because I don't have a fixed rate. It keeps going higher and higher. My home equity loan and the mortgage, higher and higher. I'm paying over $1,500 more a month in overall bills with fuel and everything else. How could you survive? Okay, and it's disgusting. This guy is an utter disaster for this country, and there's nothing that we could do until he leaves office. Because if he gets thrown out of office, what replaces him? Kamala, the laughing hyena. We have her. That. What do you think? She's going to be any better? Probably be worse. But you know, at the end of the day, Joe Biden played the game with the devil. And now he's finding out that he outlived his usefulness with them, and they're throwing him through the wolves. Look, at the end of the day, they knew about this a couple days before the midterm elections. So look what the double standard is. Now we just find out sometime in January what was going on. It's ridiculous. These things were leaked. They did this on purpose. They're leaking this for a reason. Nothing is by chance. When you start to see the liberal news media all of a sudden starting to turn on him, there's a reason. Because they know they don't want him to run again. They know he's just so damaged goods. I mean, there's only so many handshakes with ghosts that you could do before people start to wake up and say, oh my God, there's something really wrong here. So we are in a real crap show here. Now let's see if we have anything in the chat. room
Yeah,
here.
I
Benny,
agree with that also. I think that they set him up. And the first time I thought everybody's gonna think I'm crazy. So I agree with you, Glenn. They
Yeah.
didn't want him to run again, and so they set him up. The way
Exactly.
it sounds to me.
Yep, it's like a mob hit.
Amazing.
So
Benny,
yeah, go ahead.
Benny had a question about who gets to vote on the New York State GOP chair election.
Yes, that will be, actually I do as a district leader. So as a Republican district leader, we have a vote that is by county. Correct me if I'm wrong, Linda. We do have a vote in that. That's why I got some mail about potential people running for chair. So we have a vote.
We have a vote, any of the managers,
And
anybody that holds a position like the secretary,
within the party structure organization. So I'm also, let's say, the sergeant at arms. Would I have a vote
yes.
if I was
Or is
just?
it like Ray Riley is the legal secretary of the borough, so he has a vote.
Okay, so when I
Okay.
decide not to be district leader, because it's 10 years already, and
Oh.
hopefully someone else will take over. So, but
No, don't go.
well, my body could only take so much.
I know. Me too.
But I'll still be sergeant at arms, so I would still have a vote in the future for these types of things. Correct, Linda?
Yes.
Okay. 'Cause I think I'm sixth in line to the chairman. Look at that.
Yeah,
So, but at the end of the day,
We could use a new one of them too.
yes, we could always use lots of new things. That was a question from who, Benny?
that was some Benny, and Maury told me he was having audio issues.
Yeah, Maury, just type in your question, whatever you had. We could probably, we'll read it.
Yeah,
all.
I don't know what the issue is. Yeah, because everybody else seems to be okay. So Maury, I think it's an issue on your end, but okay. How many people in Brooklyn get to vote then? So follow up from Benny.
What's the question?
How many people in Brooklyn get to vote then?
How many people in Brooklyn
Get to vote.
vote then? So basically, it's whatever each assembly district that you see in Brooklyn, if you look at an election map, each assembly district has 2 district leaders, usually. Now, not every district has a district leader. I believe there might be 1 or 2 or so that don't have anyone leading it. But potentially each district, each assembly district has a male and female leader. And that's the same structure for the Democrats also. So they have a male and female leader. They call it a state committee member, state committee man or state committee woman. But we affectionately call it on the local level as a district leader. So they have votes. So a handful of those, and like Linda said, whatever the party structure. So the Brooklyn GOP chairman, you have the vice chairman, and you have like legal secretaries and law, whatever, sergeant at arms like I am, and so far and so forth. So whatever that structure is, so that could be 20 people within that party structure. So 20 there, whatever the districts have assembly, so 2 and 2. So potentially maybe 50 people, maybe, being generous on that. But we'll probably a little shade below. So let's say for your question, Benny, about 50 people in Brooklyn will have a vote on that.
Okay, we were gonna, we kind of mention it in general, but Glenn, do we want to talk about Speaker McCarthy, that whole
Yeah.
charade with his election?
Yes. I'm glad you.
How he think he's gonna, govern. I mean, it did look like it was like a quid pro quo kind of thing that we saw where a lot of very conservative Republicans were not giving him the speaker vote right away unless they were promised like positions on top committees, and it looked like that happened now. What do we feel about all that?
Yeah, I think it was a healthy process. Look, at the end of the day, we're sick of the coronation process where boom, that's it, you get in, and the same old stuff happens again and again where we're sold down the river. No, this was good. I even though it went through 15 rounds,
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah, 15
I
rounds.
think this made Speaker McCarthy actually more stronger. I think what this did was he got battle tested, right? He weathered the storm, and so far, so good. Okay, so far he's doing a good job, and he's saying the right things and doing the right things. So let's hope that put him on the even keel to be doing the right thing for us all as Americans, because we need focus on saving this republic, because we are just totally morphing into a third world nation each and every day, the way we are just giving away our rights. So hopefully what that process did was to keep him honest and to let him know, listen, do the job or you're out.
Yeah, Howard, you had a response?
Oh, no, I just wanted to say that I keep in touch with people that are, I guess, on the right that were not in favor of McCarthy. And I even look at social media, the people were criticizing people like this young lady, Marjorie Green from Georgia.
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren
Yeah,
Boebert.
if you follow her. Look, she gives it right back to the extreme left in the House, as well as other areas of our government. So people that were in support of her were very critical of her voting for Congressman McCarthy as Speaker. We'll see what happens, but I think a lot of people, not only on the right, but people that want to rein in spending. Look, it's that horse has already gotten out of the barn.
Right.
30 plus trillion in the hole. So
Yeah.
We're gonna need a wheelbarrow to buy milks.
Yeah.
yes. So looking at that, I mean, he is part of the problem that got us here for all these years. That's why people were suspect of somebody like him being in control. I mean, you look at the coastal parts of the country, both Repubs and Dems. You have New York that has a lot of control, California. I mean, you look at the way the vote went. I personally believe, I think a lot more people intended last November, both in the House as well as the Senate, to vote for anyone that would try to bring more sensibility to government. A lot of these people tend to be in the center or on the right, as far as I'm concerned. And this whole thing went on in states like Georgia and elsewhere.
Mm.
It's awful. I mean, look at what's going on with the Senate. This individual from Pennsylvania, as far as I'm concerned, shouldn't have even gotten close to that process. If you look at this individual in Pennsylvania,
Fetterman?
Fetterman.
Fetterman.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. You mean Lurch? You mean
Yeah,
Lurch
and
from
that-
the Addams family?
And that's an abomination. You look at some of these people that are serving in the Senate as well as even the House. Like, why are they even there?
Well, look, you have Mitch McConnell. What the
Oh,
heck is
God.
that? That guy needs to leave, but yet
Well,
he's
he
re-coordinated again.
people like him with
He
the
sold
R's,
out to China.
they epitomize the system and what is wrong with the system. People like him, I think he's been in office since what, 82, 81, 82.
Yeah,
So
when I
he's
was 6.
been a very, very long time.
How old I look.
Yeah, he probably cost the Republicans from getting in the Senate, although, I mean.
Yeah, but otherwise, what he would
Close.
do, he would say, "Oh, no, I didn't cause you guys from. It was the people, the crazy people on the right, which I don't buy that."
Yeah, he didn't do enough to help. I mean, okay, I mean, look, candidates like Dr. Oz, a lot of outsiders. I mean, it's like, yeah, but he still should have supported them. I
Oz
say
was not a good choice on Trump's side.
no, I mean, that's a bit of an outsider, but unfortunately, and there is a Trump factor one way or the other. It seems like McConnell did not want to support the Trump candidates, especially in the Senate, and that's what happened.
Yeah, each state has their own system. I know
Yes,
plenty of Pennsylvania. I mean, all 49, other states, all 50 states have their own system, and they're all, they're good
Right.
old voice. They're good old voice way things work.
yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, I think Dr. Oz was a poor choice for that state.
The thing is that I see you, Ramon. The thing is that I mean, again, you're right. We should have had better candidates, and picking celebrities like Dr. Oz or Herschel Walker in Georgia, maybe not the best choice. I mean, Trump was able to do it, in 2016, but I think that magic kind of wore off. So
Yeah, and Glenn, I know somebody else wanted to get it, but I'll also say this, that the problem with a lot of other states, if you look at Texas, North Carolina, even South Carolina, but especially states like Texas, Arizona, Georgia, you have a lot of people with a New York mentality that have moved to these states that are muddying the waters there politically, and they're voting that way.
Yeah.
A lot of them aren't. Personally, my sister that moved near Charleston, she's on the right, with my brother-in-law, they vote the correct way, and I believe so. But you look at the trend line. We talked about Governor Hochul before. I believe that if somebody like Zeldin came, right,
let me get.
it would not be close, because a lot of people still stayed in the state that want these terrible policies.
Right. I have, we have a couple people.
Let me
Fair
get,
point,
yeah,
fair
Ramon,
point, Howard,
Ramon, Rifki,
Rifki,
Rudy,
Ramon, and Rudy, and someone else.
yeah, Ramon, Rifki, and then Rudy. Okay,
Who was next?
yeah, I think Ramon, then Rifki.
Okay, Ramon, Rifki, and then Rudy. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, Ramon, go ahead first.
Well, after how to put this, they talk because of what's going on within the election issue, and I agree with Howard this one, because like people putting like Fetterman in there. Something I call him John Fentanyl. What happened? Because I can tell this guy's not capable, but I found out these Democrats don't care about his condition or anything. They just want him in, no matter how much money they put in. But they actually had the organizations, their DNC chairs and their their state chairs to back up with the most money. That was the difference between them and the Republicans. Because the Republican side, it's becoming like a me thing instead of just working together.
Yeah, the Democrats stick together all the time when it comes to these type of matters. They really do. I mean, look at Eric Swalwell and all those other people. You could basically eat a child live on TV. They'll support them. So then when we have one person on our side that's a little bit nutty, we'll call it, like Santos, right? What do we
I'm-
say?
Mhm.
Oh, let's get rid of him. Oh, everyone, make sure he leaves. He must resign now. How intelligent that is. I think that's wonderful. Everyone, I think that's a brilliant idea. I think Santos should leave. So we have 222 congressmen and women, right? 222. Hey, what did Santos win that seat by? Less than 1%, right? Not even. I don't think it was very razor thin. I remember at the end. So let's get rid of, hey, let's have a special election. Hey, what do you think will happen in a seat that was a Democrat seat? We're gonna have the Democrat win. Real intelligent. So here's the thing I propose for the
I-
Santos issue. And the Santos, and I'll do it quick. And the thing with Santos is you vote him out in the primary next time. You vote him out in the primary next time. When his 2 years are up, don't renominate him. Vote him
Glenn,
out.
Glenn,
But
I
not
don't
giving up
think,
that
that-
seat.
no, Glenn, I mean, we gotta let Rifki
Yeah,
talk.
no, go ahead. That's
John
all I
coming in,
wanted to
but
say.
I mean,
Fine.
Santos could be a long discussion, but I
No, I'm
think,
just saying, I
I
had
think
to bring that up.
Santos is gonna need to be, and I think they will they will investigate him, and then let's
I'm
see.
sure they will.
If
sure
he
they will.
decides to resign based on the investigation, or if they toss him out, but Santos is a problem.
Well,
Yes,
what
we
I'm saying
need
is we're eating up our
problem.
own and the Democrats stick together. That was my point. But go ahead.
Okay.
Who's the next
Before I put this out here,
Mm.
there's one thing I want to say.
Mm.
I have been in Nassau County and I actually saw George Santos in person because I attend the Republican Party up there for a few friends. Regardless what people say they don't like him or not, because they say, yeah, he actually admitted that he lied to his application and that was the only thing he said it was truthful. But I said, look at the people on the other side of the aisle and look at Joe Biden, how they lie and cheat their way to get in.
That's
So they're
true.
targeting one man, like, and they turned George Santos like he's Donald Trump. So I said, I got a better idea. Let's give them a taste of their own medicine. And I suggest George Santos to stay and let him do what he's supposed to do until he screws up.
And you just vote him out in the primary. That's all. Vote him out in
Exactly.
the primary and be done with him that way. Don't
Okay,
state
but,
we're
I
gonna
mean-
put up that seat and then all of a sudden we lose the seat. How stupid is that? And then
He
now
will-
it's 221 we have. Come on, give me a break.
There's gonna be an ethics committee, but the problem
Oh, I
is.
know, because
yeah,
you're right, there is.
no, and there
because-
should be, I mean, look, we know Biden has lied throughout his whole career, but at least we know who Joe Biden is. The problem with Santos is it's gotten so bad, we don't even know his true identity. I mean, we know
We don't.
Biden. We don't even know, we don't even know if that's his name. We don't know anything truly about him. He's Jewish, he's not Jewish, where he graduated from, how he got his money. I mean, it's really bad.
And
with
if you
Santos.
dig in, but truthfully, Larry, if you dig into every one of these politicians, not
Mhm.
everyone, of course, but if you dig into most of these politicians, you'll find out a lot of
But
fun.
Larry,
stuff
what
on them.
about the other, his 434 fellow representatives federally?
Right.
We were looking people that we like, people we may not like. Hey, stop doing
Right.
that.
Right,
Yeah.
look at Nancy Pelosi. How did she become a multimillionaire on a government salary?
Well,
Look
I
how
say-
wealthy these people get even after a couple of terms. Where's the money coming from? As somebody once said, follow the money. Follow the
Okay,
I'm sorry, we had
Rifki-
Rifki.
Rifki had waited patiently.
Yeah,
I'm
hi.
sorry, Rifki.
It's
Sure.
okay. No,
Go ahead,
I
Rifki.
wasn't listening to the whole, I was on the phone with Israel on and off, so I sort of missed a lot of what you guys were saying, but
And we'll have this on
I-
YouTube, Rifki. also.
right, I see you're recording it, right?
We are
But
recording.
the bottom line is, really, guys, if they don't clean up the voter frauds, no matter who we try to get in, whatever we try to do, if they don't want someone, I don't even know what happened with Lester Chang, but if they don't want someone, they're gonna make sure we don't get someone. That is the bottom line. We gotta get rid of this mail-in, all this mishigas, clean up. If it's not gonna happen, we're not gonna get it. We can talk about Trump and say, DeSantis, but DeSantis is a politician, so who really wants him? But the bottom line is, do they want him more because they can buy him off because he's a politician? The bottom line is, if we don't clean up the voter fraud, if we don't get to the bottom of the fraud and the mail-in, that's it. I don't think I hate to sound whenever, we don't stand a chance.
You're
I
right.
don't mean to sound whenever. This fraud has to be dealt with.
You're correct.
And that's really, that's all I have. I don't know. It just,
Well,
come
yes.
on. We could talk about Santos and Jewish. Who the hell gives a shit? I'm sorry, Jewish or not, does it really matter? Like,
it
you know, I
doesn't.
prefer he's not
No, it
Jewish.
doesn't, but
The Jews get blamed for everything, but we don't care. We want to know, right? How much did he lie as far as, you know, whatever. It doesn't, the Jewish part doesn't matter. The matter, you know, I'm not sure, you know, exactly, but you know, that's irrelevant, the Jewish part, but it just like, but everybody lies, everybody, like, you know, I'm sure if you look into Zeldin or whatever, come on, let's face it, they're all politicians,
Right,
and that's the
how
bottom
do you think
line.
they got to that level? Not everyone. We can't say that about
All right,
everyone.
not everyone, but you know what I'm trying to say.
But for the majority of them, we could say that.
All right,
I mean-
but you know what I'm trying to say is
Yes,
we
I-
Yeah.
got to get rid of this fraud.
we
We
do need
got
to
to
get rid
do
of the voter
something about
fraud.
this voting. You know, it's got to be clean voting, period. No mail-in, no Michigas, nothing. And
So,
then we know, I'm sure Zeldin won too. Well, I shouldn't say I'm sure, but you know
Well,
what? If he
mhm.
didn't win, and he came pretty close, I'm sure of it. There's
I
been
think
so
it-
many, I got so many emails and you know, WhatsApps and things that people were saying, oh, they're telling us this, they're telling us that, what's going on in these voters, in the booths and all that was going on election day.
Yeah, I
So
got that.
I don't know.
Well, I
mean,
have a
look,
comment about that.
okay, whatever.
You
I
have
said my
folks
piece.
out
Thank
there
you.
that
Thank you, Ricky.
Thank you, Ricky.
But I have a comment about what they want to do is they want to create division. They want you to be disappointed in the outcome and say, oh, gee, look what's going on. I'm really disappointed as to what happened. I'm not going to vote. They want to create that. So we have to, you know, double our efforts and get out there and bring a friend
Which
out.
we did, and you know, all those phone calls and look at, well, the Jewish people who never
Don't
vote,
give up.
look what happens. Everyone went out, well, almost everyone went out to vote in the Jewish neighborhoods. But yes,
Yes,
there
I
had to be,
know. I'm
you
in
know,
one of-
Zeldin was really persisting. People helped him out. There were phone calls going out from all the yeshivas, all the schools, and
Got
that's
it.
what did it. Unfortunately, this is what it takes. But you
Yeah,
know
but
what? Now people have
also
learned their lesson. You still have to push and push and push. But I'm sure Zeldin probably got more votes than they said he
Incident-
lost by.
Incidentally,
I'm sure.
federally, if you look, Long Island and upstate, people like this fellow Santos, I think they had a net gain of 5 US seats as far as the House is concerned. So it was definitely it definitely produced a positive result federally, if you look
Right.
at it.
Right,
Yeah,
right. I told
absolutely.
people, whatever it is, go down the road. You gotta do Republican. Just don't think. Just do that's it. Don't even, again, not saying all Republican, but you know, I just
Well,
told people, just don't think. Just go vote. Just Republican to
Well,
do
think
it.
about it, Rifki, in this terms, New York helped deliver Congress. Okay,
Right.
by
That's
sitting
that's
those
true.
Congress- And in regards to Lester Chen that you mentioned before, they did seat him, and I haven't heard anything
Yes.
else afterwards. So he is a sitting assemblyman.
Yes, he is.
Thank
New
God.
York, Brooklyn now has 3 Republican assemblymen. And we also have now 2 city council members, because one Democrat switched parties and became a Republican.
Len, what happened with Wendardis?
Who?
This guy that,
Andrew Gonzalez, he's
Yeah, yeah,
still
what
there, right?
No, he's still there. There's a,
State senator, he's still there.
But you know, okay, guys, one more thing I'm gonna say with regards to Fetterman, like, hello, but I also believe there was enough stolen. Pennsylvanians can be that stupid. They can't be. We can't say, I know you're laughing, Glenn. They
No, I know.
can't
I
be
mean,
that
you
stupid.
have
I'm
to
not so
be-
sure about this, Rifki. I
don't
hate,
know.
I hate to
Please.
disagree with you, but first of all, Dr. Oz, even though I guess, first of all, his only connection to Pennsylvania, I believe, was that he went to school there. So he's a bit of an outsider, and he really just didn't connect to, the people of Pennsylvania,
You know what?
which was
But Larry-
surprising.
But Larry, there's no place like Oz.
No, okay, yeah,
No
okay,
place
no,
like
but seriously, but really, Larry, I still think no matter what, Pennsylvania's still like, they don't want someone who's brain dead. I'm sorry. I
You're
can't
right,
believe
Rifki.
people could be so
Rifki,
stupid. I
I
really
agree with you.
cannot
How
believe it. It's
stupid
not
could they be?
possible.
How
It
stupid
just-
could you be?
Rifki.
The guy can't form 2 sentences together and you're
Rifki,
like,
I understand
I
that.
know the
Okay, he had a
politics-
stroke. It's never, it's sad.
Hello,
Okay, anyway.
hey, can I
whatever,
say
but-
something?
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
All right,
Hi.
Rudy, go ahead.
Hi, listen, let's forget about the guy, the Republican. We have to focus on what Biden did.
Right.
He is so corrupt, and we have to keep not
been-
allowing them to get away with it. Like they're gonna, what is it called? They want to, just keep going. Oh, we find papers, but we have to make demands as us voices. We want to know what's in those papers. They sold us out. There's no question. These elections were
I want
rigged.
to know what those papers are from the Senate. That's
Yeah.
Everywhere,
truly-
everything.
That's
Bec-
truly
I
illegal.
think
No gray area
We
there.
can't,
well-
if they talk about, wait, if they talk about Santos, just ignore it. You know, when
Exactly.
somebody says something, just let them da, 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 da. We keep him
Exactly.
there.
Correct.
And, and we make sure the guy votes for the Republican, whatever. We don't, you lied, everybody lies. I lie. Everybody can't be trusted. But must keep him in, and we have to ignore, when somebody says something, da, 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 okay,
Yes, you got to keep them in. This is a
Yes.
street fight, guys.
right. This is a
street fight for
Good
our
for you.
republic. This is a
they're
street
at,
fight for our republic, our country. George Santos, who cares about him personally? It's
right,
about
exactly.
our country, like where Ramon is holding, is about our country.
But
Okay.
Glenn, we also feel like, what's his name? Biden is not running the show. He's
No.
not.
No, he's a puppet.
And I think he's being set up. They're trying to throw us off track
Of course,
again.
Biden
They
was
are.
set up. Of course, this is all in control. They want us
Or
out our
Gavin
knees.
Newsom
This is
or,
my theory. Wait a
Michelle
second. This is
Obama.
my theory that they want chaos in the streets. They
Yes.
the CCP, the Chinese communists. What
Yep.
they're doing is setting up America to become so weak and so
So true.
chaotic that when they come and take us over, we'll be okay. And then all of a sudden, their police, will come and control
Coming
us.
for us.
And
We have
They're
video evidence.
coming for us. Exactly. They're coming for us. There's a police station in New York, in Chinatown, and
Yep.
we don't know. Maybe they have the goods on the people, the Chinese people in Chinatown. Maybe they're being threatened by these Chinese government, saying, we know you have relatives here, and if you don't come by, your relatives are going to be threatened. Maybe we don't know how much those Chinese in New York are taking control and threatening the people that they are aware of that came from China. So it's amazing how the Chinese are not coming up. There's a lot of American Chinese, and maybe they're being, threatened. And we must, no matter what, Santos is fantastic. But we must get behind Trump. He is the one who would be able to, at this moment in time, to be able to deal with, foreign leaders. He will put them in the place. I'll never forget how he dealt with the German woman, whatever her name is.
Yes.
And he
Merkel.
so we must be
Merkel.
behind Trump. Sanders, you're a great guy. And Sanders, he's fantastic. But Trump, down the line, maybe Sanders, but we must get behind Trump. We must even have like a little festival when when the weather comes warm, and show that when you shouldn't be afraid to express our feelings. When I see somebody, like if I happen to I can't afford this, a Uber or something, and I would say something. I go, well, the reason why things are happening is because of Biden, and the guy will say, yes.
That's
Yeah,
what
so
I do.
I'll say to him, become citizens and vote for Trump.
Right.
And he would go, yeah, most people, when I speak to them, I do my laundry, and the people say, yes,
You're right.
and
You're
they
right,
all
Marie.
agree.
I do that too. And they all agree with me.
They all agree, and we must show as a Tea Party that we are behind Trump 100%. Nobody's perfect. We're behind Trump, and if they talk about that guy, you go, okay, yeah, yada yada yada.
Can't just forget about it, please.
Right, and we got to find out why there's a Chinese police station in New York,
Yeah, there's.
and Biden. Biden.
What is about that? If anyone can elaborate on that, I heard it in passing. I didn't really pay attention. It's something pertaining to that.
Good question. I think someone was saying, well, right, they're watching their own people
Right.
who are not whatever, but I don't believe that. I mean, that could be partially true, but somehow being set up to watch us and
We
all
don't
that.
know. It could be just some internet type of stuff, but we don't know. Look,
But we must get behind why. Let's not forget about Biden being he sold us out. They all sold us out. Garland and all of them. And what about that? The generals, the army. Look what they're doing to our country.
Yeah.
They're bringing the people down to their knees.
Exactly. So
I
I'm
think
saying
Ramon
the
has a
Supreme
hand
Court
up.
is look at the Supreme Court. Who do you, I mean, that's it. Who do you turn to?
Yeah, the
Oh,
name-
yeah, wait,
everything
one more
else.
thing. We haven't, they
Swear to
they
God.
can't find out who leaked the information on the
Yes,
Supreme
that's what I was
Court?
gonna say, right, exactly. They can't, there's, how many people could they investigate? It's only like 50 people at most that
A
are,
100.
within that little, law clerks or whatever they are within the little realm of Supreme Court justices. There's only a handful of people that it could be, but yet they can't find out. I wonder who it might be. Sure, it's a Democrat appointee from
Sure.
the Supreme Court, of course it is.
Or a traitor.
Exactly. Ramon has his hand up. Ramon, go ahead.
Well, after what I agree what they're saying because of what's happening within the state and our country, and we are in trouble. This is why I stopped complaining and I decided to take action.
Right.
Because that's the one thing that I've been learning as well. Because every time Democrats do something that's very stupid, they want to draw attention to get the conservatives and the Republicans to start complaining, bring on the media. I actually did the one thing I always been doing. I ignore them and look the other way and turn the cameras away because these are the type of people who thrive for attention. I said, I'll give you an example. Like whenever the AOC lady does something stupid, it goes all over the Fox News, all over the media. I said, why not just turn the cameras away, ignore them, and
won't.
she'll go hungry.
Deflate and be powerless, right? You're right.
Right.
Just ignore them. But here's the thing. We don't control the media. They control the media. We have an outlet or two, maybe. But overall media is controlled by the left. So of course, whatever AOC is going to say, we're going to hear because they're going to cover it. And that's the problem. And when we finally got Twitter somewhat on our side, we'll say, they were all up in arms. Oh my God, how dare we share our toys with the rest of the people in the playpen? And that is what's going on here. We need more voices out there. We need more outlets, and we need, when we take over the Congress, the Senate, and the presidency again, we need to make sure that the internet companies are held accountable for what they're doing with this fact-checking garbage and all that. They got to take away, I forget what's the title, I forget what it's called. They got to take away that
230.
230, Title 230, I think it's called. The protection that they have where they can't be sued. Okay,
They also need to be treated like utilities.
exactly. So we need to even that out. And once we even that out, we'll have more of our voices. Because I run Facebook pages, and I run a Trump page, right? I have 53,000 members. That has not expanded for a while. I'm still stuck at 53,000 and change. It's not gone up. You kidding me? That thing should be at 200,000, but they're suppressing it. They're suppressing it every time someone makes a comment. Oh, this goes against community standards, they say. So I said, okay, as the administrator of the page, I want to know what this person said. Maybe they said something disgusting, and I will get rid of them. And I try to click what they did wrong. They won't show me as the administrator of the page what they did wrong. All they say is, you can't share it. We can't show this content. Excuse me? Then how do I know what you're saying is true? And that's what they do. They're deceptive, and they need to be evened out, and they need to have that thing overturned where they could be sued, and then all of a sudden these fact checkers will go the hell away. It's ridiculous. Go ahead, Brim.
Here's something I've been playing around with Facebook. Whenever the fact checker kicks in, and what happened, I said, I'm glad fact checker came because they just made that post a lot easier to note that this post is true.
Right.
So they just did the dirty work.
Okay.
They just made it,
You know,
because
they,
I'm not letting no censor bar gonna stop that unless they want to use that on that statue in Boston.
Right. And the thing with me as running a Facebook page, I have to somehow adhere to this because I'll take my page down totally. So I have to pick my battles as an administrator of a page because they always threaten. And I just had one thing lifted after 3 months of them holding it over my head. And finally that went away, the big major strike. So it went away after a while. So now I have to be careful because if I approve certain posts, they'll knock it down, especially, on other major issues. I have to watch out. Because they'll just strike the page and then they'll be totally gone and our voices are gone altogether for every other issue. Go ahead, Larry.
Facebook is probably the worst one out there still, but I want to follow up on a few things in the chat. And this is somewhat related to what I was going to say anyway. From Benny, I heard that Jim Jordan's subpoena power is restricted to McCarthy's sign off. I'm not sure this is such a good thing. That's probably just true based on, the hierarchy. I believe the speaker does have to sign off on any kind of subpoenas or investigations. Is that right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. But I do believe we're talking about Mr. Biden there. For what it's worth, I'm sure Jordan or other Republican committees are going to investigate this. There was also a special counsel, assigned to look into this, and it might just be a puppet. It might just be for show, but at least there's something there. So you still got Trump and Biden under investigation for these documents that where they shouldn't be. So we'll see what happens with that. But I do think there are a lot of Democrats that do not want Biden there, but I'm not sure. Say there's an impeachment, and I don't think he's going to be convicted by the Senate, although he might get a few Democratic votes, but not enough. And I don't think people want Harris either. So I agree. I think we just gotta ride the storm out to 2024. As far as Board of Election and deleting ineligible voters, Maury posted a link. I will send this out in an email to everybody too. There's an article that he sent about how citizens can volunteer to help clean out the voter rolls, as we discussed. So it's like what you were saying. We got to do it. We got to take action now. So it looks like to help clean it up and try to eliminate some of the voter fraud as has been discussed. But we know that's only one part of it. I mean, if we're talking about voter fraud, yeah, it's good to clean up the rolls, but you still got the machines that could be rigged, as we know, like the Dominion. There's a lot of funny business going on there. So, but
Remember, the people that did not want Spiro Agnew were able to bring something up when he was governor of Maryland, and he ended up having to leave, and they got in an apparatchik like President Ford back in the early 70s. So this also happened to Mrs. Harris with regard to her. I mean, look, if they want new leadership at 1600 and they don't want her in there, that could also happen.
Well, that's true. You're right. That's a good point. I forgot about that. But I don't know. Yeah, the committee that runs Biden, because Biden is not gonna pick somebody.
Yeah, that was a coordinated effort. Back
you're right, with Agnew. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because then they put the guy. Because I think Richard Nixon mentioned about who shot JFK.
Yeah, Roger Stone brought that up.
Right, and I had him as a guest speaker when I was president.
Yeah, we know Roger Stone. Yeah,
he was touting that book that the man who
he believed that LBJ is responsible for the Kennedy assassination, but moving on.
Well, either way, I mean, look, conspiracy theories are sometimes eventually, we find out they're real. But the thing is, well, we don't know, of course. But I'm saying is, at the end of the day, he mentioned that, and then all of a sudden the Watergate, happened 4 days prior to that, and one of the reporters, actually 4 out of the 5 Watergate break-ins worked for the CIA, and then
yes, G. Gordon Liddy and other people,
right, and the reporter,
Problems.
what was the reporter? Not Woodward. Woodward, right? No, Bernstein.
Roberta Bernstein?
Yeah, the younger one, I guess, the 29-year-old at the time.
I think it was Woodward.
Okay, he worked also for the CIA, or he was an ex-Navy, whatever, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, Tucker brought that up.
yeah, right. I saw that on Tucker. So our government, okay, is corrupt. Talk about Santos. Our government's so corrupt, okay? And we have been doing bad things for a long, long time. Look at all those people that just mysteriously died under the Clintons, huh?
Yeah,
All I'm saying is that, yes, we gotta call out certain things. We gotta do what's best for our country. And our country is in peril right now. And we gotta keep up the good fight. If that's just talking to your neighbor, whatever it is, we could only do so much as one individual. But if you keep on doing it, it'll spread like the virus, right? It'll spread, let it spread. And there has to be a point where people wake up. There has to be that point. I don't know when the hell that point's going to be. But look, it woke up a little. New York, like I said, Brooklyn. First time we had 3 assemblymen, this amount of Republican representation in this borough. Remember, it used to be just Marty Golden and the crossovers for Staten Island. That's it. One fully elected from Brooklyn, where it's just Brooklyn, and then the Nicole Malliotakis congressional seat and the assembly seat that crosses over to Brooklyn. That's it. That's all we had always. And then we lost Marty Golden, and then we just had the crossovers. And then even when we lost Marty Golden, we didn't have the congressional. So here's the thing. It's the first time since 1973 that we had this amount of Republican representation. That's before the city council guy switched parties and became a Republican. But the thing is this. So we're making little strides along the way. But the Lester Chang election is important because that's the Asian community. And if we could get the Asian community to our side, that's great because this will help us get elected more. But now the next community, you work on every immigrant community because they're all Republicans. They just don't know it yet. And you got to reach out to every community. It's so important that every community is part of this process. We need everyone involved because we have to have one thing in common that we all have to realize. We're all New Yorkers and we're all Americans, right? That is the central point that we need to drive home. We need to make sure that our families and all that could actually have a living wage and live here, and especially in the city level, live in this city without being choked to death with regulations if you're a small business, choked to death if you're just a regular worker and you're trying to buy eggs in the damn store and aluminum foil and all this other stuff. And you need a second mortgage, 3 jobs now to buy the essentials. And then when you have idiots in the city council says you can't get free packets, why? I don't want to buy ketchup. I want the free ketchup that I could get when I'm buying the damn food. It's ridiculous. So we got to continue the good fight. So and we started with the Curtis Sliwa election where the Asian community in Brooklyn voted for him. Okay. And because they know their community is being attacked from violence. Okay. From violence on them and also prejudice stuff against them with the kids in school where they say, oh no, you can't have too many Asians in these schools. Why? If they earned it, if they are doing the academics and they earn that achievement, why are we denying people? It should be based on your merit. I don't care if it's a school of 100% of Asian Americans that are winning these scholarships. If they earned it, good. Then the other communities need to wake the hell up and start doing better. Competition, wake up. But we're gonna say, no, we can't have too many of you. That's discrimination.
Well.
Disgusting. So they're realizing that, and that's why they're starting to vote Republican. And I hope more communities wake up, because we need to stop the stupidity that we see before us. Anyone else have anything? to add?
Benny has something to say.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, Benny.
Yeah.
All right. Two things. One is, Glenn, just a suggestion regarding your Facebook page. I mean, I would find another platform because you're just playing the game according to their rules. I mean, I think it's a zero-sum game. You're not gonna get anywhere.
Right.
And I think the more people leave Facebook, the more they'll get the message that their policies are not going to be tolerated.
Well, the thing with that, Benny, is that we have, especially on the Brooklyn Tea Party side, we have over 5,000 on one of our pages and over 2,700 or so, or 600 on the other page. And what we need to do is reform the damn system. Not us personally, but when the Republicans take office, got to hold them to the screws and make sure that policy is overturned, where no more fact checkers all of a sudden, they'll be disappearing. Yes, other platforms, I agree with you. I mean, we should branch out with other, it doesn't mean we just leave altogether. We should branch out to other platforms. We're going to look into that, like Rumble and all the other
Yeah.
ones. And just
We
have a foothold there. I mean, we're on Twitter also, and now look
we
what
have
happened.
some.
Stayed on Twitter, and look, Twitter all of a sudden had a resurgence of being somewhat of a normal,
A little bit.
little bit better than it was. And so at the end of the day, we need that reform. And that's the key essential, because we don't want to shut out voices. We don't want to shut out, because look, we're at a disadvantage to begin with, no matter what. The media is never going to cover us, so to speak, only when we do bad. So we need to have our voices out in many different directions, many platforms, many ways to get it out there. And I just don't want to close it off. I hear what you're saying, Benny. I agree with you on a micro level on that. I agree with you in a sense, but I think it's important that we still stay there. But yes, we run the risk of being thrown off when you go delving into the other gray areas, we'll call it, of conversation speak. And they hold it. Yeah, go ahead.
And we're also supporting them, which we don't want to do either, by staying on their platform. So it's a double-edged. Yeah. Anyway, another thing is that regarding the government power and how it's overwhelming. I mean, our founders never intended the federal government to be so big. I mean, I don't know if you heard Matt Gaetz wants to shut down the ATF.
Yeah.
I think we should shut down the DOJ, the FBI, CDC. They're all corrupt to the core, and frankly, they're useless at this point. What is an untrustworthy government agency worth? I think all those powers that we gave the federal government should be redelegated back to the states where where they belong, and also where it's harder to corrupt all 50 Department of Justices or all 50 state polices or if we had agencies in every state, at least you get the truth from some of the states instead of having one gigantic federal government. And I mean, another thing is, all these government agencies and all the people that are working for them, they're automatically going to vote for big government. So you basically, it's another, they say a government job is another form of welfare. So between that and all the people that are actually on welfare, I mean, we're losing the battle here in votes.
You're right. It's true. We are at a disadvantage there. We're always at that disadvantage. Every election cycle, we're at a disadvantage. And we only have that bit of wiggle room, very small amount of wiggle room to even make a difference in an election.
We can't.
Jeff Rifke has a hand up. Also.
Yeah.
No, and now also with all the immigrants coming in, it's like, it's just like, it's just a terrible situation. Look where our tax money is going. The city is falling apart. I don't even know how we're functioning.
The illegal aliens.
Yeah.
When you had Eric Adams going down to the border or state of Texas, making his plea, but I laughed. I said, idiot. You're the one that said last year that we're a sanctuary city. Now everyone's holding you to your word. And now they're sending busload after busload unfortunately, we're all captive because we have to pay for it. And then they go to hotel rooms while our citizens who are homeless are rotting on the street without health care, without mental facilities for them. And they're just rotting on the street when they could be in a hotel room too, I guess. But no,
Right.
the illegal aliens could get the a hotel room and, oh, look, all this food. Oh,
Right.
we're throwing, and everyone see that report, and they're
Right.
throwing out all that food. That food could go to the homeless people.
I know, and then people, even
no.
people I know getting their services cut for their kids and stuff like that, OT.
But us taxpayers are the morons.
Yeah, what do we
we're
do
funding
about
this.
that? We gotta get rid of Adams. We just gotta get rid of them all.
They all,
Between, all the way down the line, Hochul, like, it's awful. I can understand why people want to leave New York. I want to leave New York.
me too. I know, but I'm trapped here for a little bit longer. But yeah, everyone does. Everyone wants to get the hell out.
I don't know. What do you do? I don't understand. Until what? Until what? It's not a bottomless pit. What's gonna happen?
Well,
I
we're
mean,
gonna turn,
do the
well,
economics,
we'll turn into Detroit. Hopefully not. But we've already reached that point. Don't think it can't happen. I remember when Ford said New York City dropped dead in 1975, the year I was born. That's because we already reached that level. The city was bankrupt. Don't think it can't happen again. It's happening right in front of our eyes again.
Absolutely.
So wake up, people.
Yeah.
Okay. Ramon, I know you had some things in the chat too, but go ahead, Ramon.
Well, because it's affecting a lot of people, and yeah, people are moving out of the state, but there are people who are still trapped here. They have to deal with this. And guess what? I'm still going back to New York, and I still fight out there because I'm not going anywhere because this isn't right what's happening, and it's not the state's fault, and it's not the way it's going on. It is run by the wrong people.
Right.
But also this year, isn't there a city council election this year?
I believe so.
Yeah, isn't Heshi running for
Yes,
something?
city council. Right.
Because what happened is, yeah, for many people who don't like Eric Adams, but that's been elected by the people. I got my opinions as well. But if we it just need Republican majority into the city council within the 5 boroughs, enough to hold the line against Adams' decision in order to pressure him. Because it could be a start. And I can understand people are tired of the vote by mail and all the frauds been handling. That's where the voter frauds has to kick it. The voter rolls has to kick in, but also turn the vote by mail into our advantage and win enough seats, especially the state legislators, so they can get rid of it from the state.
That's the only way it's going to be turned over.
Great. And as Ramon said, and this is something that we like to push as a local club, getting people to run for county committees, vote for candidates, to get the line to run campaigns. And, this is something that we could push also. And, if any member wants to run, for, a county committee, something like that, we could definitely help with
Please
that.
let me know, because I'm the Republican district leader of the 44th Assembly District. And and I know we have Linda also is, I believe, Linda, where are you in the 45th, is it?
I'm in the 51st.
51st.
Yeah.
The 51st
Can I
Assembly.
say something?
Sure, Linda. Go ahead.
Petitions come out February 28th,
Oh, God.
and they're for city council and Republican district leaders, Republican. And it's very important if they're in any one district, if there's several Republicans running for city council, what gets counted is the first signature. So if somebody signs your petition and several other people's petitions, yours is going to count if you get it first. That's that's different than, other times. That's all.
Didn't they used to do it where it was the last signature?
But for this race, it's the first signature. I don't know. Yes, I agree. But I was told that this one was the first one.
Probably.
Have a few Republican city councils running in part of my district. And so they said, the first day,
I know that used to be
What
where.
does that mean? First signature? What does that mean?
Okay, so for example, if there's two Republican candidates running within the assembly district or whatever district their councilmatic district crosses, it could be many assembly districts, it could be the 51st, the 45th, it depends how the map looks. When someone knocks on your door, hi, sign this petition for Joe Schmo for city council. Well, I'm supporting the other Joe Schmo. Well, then don't sign that petition because it's your signature will make that person be on the ballot and your signature won't count for the other guy.
Well,
So,
okay, wait, so are the districts like, because I was helping with Vito LaBella, who I also thought won, but I heard they were busing in Chinese from New Jersey. It's insane. Again, the voting situation.
I mean,
So,
there's a lot of fraud, a lot of
a
different
lot of
fraud.
fraud. So, so that's the way it's districted out, the way that map, that's now,
Depends how it's written, the city council district, it could be through many different assembly districts. And then whoever gets that signature first when they knock on your door. Well,
and then you have to get a certain amount of signatures to approve you, but then also you have to raise money for your campaign, right? It's not so simple.
no, it's not. It's not simple to run for office. I ran for office 3 times, but I never had a primary challenge. And let me tell you, it's it's a struggle to get money to begin with, but it's also would be a real struggle if you have a primary, which I think it's healthy to have a primary. But at the end of the day, if you're running, it's a big hurdle to pass. And then you have to have the real election, where the Democrats always tend to win. But very, very. But lately we've been winning some. So
Yeah.
Right, but that's why people don't want to step up to the plate, because, you got to raise the money, you got to get the vote. I mean, it's not
then your name
simple.
is thrown through the mud. Don't forget about that.
Oh, that too. But, okay, but that's not, how do you get people to step up to the plate?
And that's why you have certain personalities sometimes, not all the time, that are flawed. You have flawed people sometimes that run for these positions. Not everyone, don't get me wrong. But you have that because you have to have somewhat of an ego to run for this type of position. I'm the best thing since sliced bread. Gotta vote. I mean, whatever it takes, I guess, because like you said, who the hell in their right mind would want to run for office?
Well, yeah, I just want to run to clean up,
That's what that's why I'm saying you get pitfalls sometimes. You get people.
I'm
that
saying you want to run to clean up the show, to help clean up what's going on.
Right.
But
There's also those people that are principled and believe what you
yeah, well, a lot of us are, except that, look at all these hurdles that,
Right. It takes a special type of person to decide to step up to the plate and swing that bat.
I mean, I can just say that. I don't know how I would get the money. I don't know how much is needed, but people don't have money.
then
I'm
if you
helping
do-
people who lost their jobs for the city, so
I know, it's disgusting. And
it is.
And then if you don't do the proper paperwork, they'll get you
Yeah,
campaign finance. Right,
right. And then they'll look to screw you over because they don't want you.
exactly.
So
So-
if you don't dot, one I is not dotted and whatever, yeah,
All of a
so
sudden you're out in cuffs.
exactly.
Now you're a
So,
criminal.
right.
Now everyone's saying, "Oh, look, you're there. You're a horrible person." Please, there's a lot of things behind the scenes that are really the real answers to what certain things are happening that you see in the media. Not everything is what it seems to be.
Of course not.
There's that guy behind that curtain of the Great Wizard of Oz, not Senator Oz. Well, what he should have been senator.
Right.
So
So
that's
Benny seemed interested, contact Glenn. And this is something
Benny, what
also, and
assembly district do you live in? Or what neighborhood? Maybe we could figure it out.
yeah, Benny.
Did you type it?
Is he having
No, I
Benny?
see him, but
Well, if
yeah.
anything, Benny, you have my number.
Yeah, and
And you're
Yeah,
interested in county committee.
I will.
Hello, I'm back.
Hi, Benny.
Yeah, Benny. So yeah, if you're interested in this, you could contact
If
Glenn
you're interested in
directly.
County committee, which basically the county committee member does, is you get signatures for a small block, 2-block radius, maybe 2 or 3 blocks are your election district. And in that election district, you could run 2 people. This is party position. 2 people could run for that county committee position. And what the county committee does is you vote for the party chairman for the borough that you're in, for the county. So you're in Brooklyn, it'll be for Kings County. You have a vote and say where you could go to the convention or sign over a proxy to your district leader like me, if you don't want to, if you're busy that day, to represent your vote at the county convention. Okay, so that's basically what that does. It could do other things, but in the 20-something years, 25 years or more that I've been a county committee member, I've not done anything more than just vote for the party position for the county structure. Now, I'm sure it could be done for other things, but I never witnessed that personally. So, but you can still have a voice, you can still go to that convention, but you need to get a couple signatures to get on the county committee, which will be this election cycle. Because district leaders are running, and along with county committee. And so if you're gonna get a couple block rate, you get a list of names of who's a registered Republican. If you're a registered Republican, of course, and you'll see, and you need a certain amount of signatures to qualify that district, and then you'll be a county committee member. And that, so if you're interested, we could figure out where you are, and I could find out, hopefully you have a district leader. And
I'm in Crown Heights, so.
Crown Heights, okay, so we'll figure out who that is over there. Just message me so I have it fresh in my thing. I'll send it to the chairman saying you're interested in being a county committee member. And then hopefully that will be forwarded. Put your number in there too, in the message, so I can see it. And then we'll forward that to the district leader so they could sign you up as a county committee member. And hopefully we can get a couple signatures to help them out, because me as a district leader, it's a hell on earth. Me and my co-leader, we have to go around getting signatures. Like now they changed it into the winter time. It used to be summertime. So now we're going up and down with could be snow, ice, everything. And we need a couple hundred signatures to get, and it's not so easy. Oh, a couple hundred. No, we can't stand on the corner. We're not Democrats. They could just stand on the corner and they'll get the whole community signed because everyone's a registered Democrat. Now we have to knock on doors, and half of them are dead, moved, or when they're home, they get to say, could you come back later? No, you're the only idiot I heard in a freaking hour. Sign my damn petition. That's what we incur. And that's why after 10 years of doing this, I really don't want to do it much longer. And hopefully I have someone to replace me. But we'll see. February 28th, Linda. Ugh.
February 28th. Also, by the way, not that this warms anybody's heart, but because this is local election this time, right? City council and Republican district leaders, we go back to ranked choice voting.
Oh,
God.
Okay, that's my other grumpy.
okay. And all right. And yeah, I could, we could get this out in an email too if anybody else is interested to reach out to you, Glenn. Joanne. Hey, Joanne. Haven't heard from in a while. Should have a few comments in the chat that I don't think we could really do anything about. It would be nice at the BTP if we could get Alvin Bragg fired, but I don't think we could do that. That's the governor's discretion, and she's not.
That's Manhattan also.
And she's not going to do it. And about getting Mayor Giuliani reinstated to practice law.
Yeah.
Not sure how that could be rescinded, but I think it's also a statewide
bar issue for the bar.
So yeah, I'm sorry, Joanne. I don't think we have much power to do those two things, although it definitely would be nice. So.
I mean, if anything, you can petition the bar, the state bar. and say, listen, write a letter. Look, letters sometimes matter. Write a letter to the bar and say, reinstate Giuliani. This is just absolutely atrocious what you guys did to disbar him. And
Yeah.
try it that way. The only
Yeah,
thing you can do, really. It's not like we have any power over these people that run the state bar.
yeah. And,
Applicable.
yeah,
Why-
right.
That's why vote elections matter. It's
Yeah,
a-
exactly. I mean, we know
governor-
Zeldin,
if you got rid of the governor, you would have had a better shot. at it.
right, exactly. Zeldin said he was gonna do that, but unfortunately, Hochul is not gonna do that, so,
No.
yeah, sure, and, yeah, let's do what the Democrats do, that's within legal, that's legal, yeah, we could try, but again, part of the issue is we could try to play the Democrats' game that's within legal bounds, but especially in New York, what are we outnumbered? 7-1, 8-1. So even if we try, we're still way behind to start. They got such a big head start. So
And
even
then,
if we play their game, it's still such a challenge for us to
and they
win.
have the
or get anything
radicals
done.
on their side.
What was that?
They have the radicals on their side.
And the radicals and the media, as you said before. So.
Hey, largely a peaceful protest here as buildings are burning behind us. Understand how stupid that is. Understand how
Right.
stupid we are. The media is. I mean, you have
Yeah.
all that brainwashing people. People are like, oh yeah, everything's great. What? So maybe they did vote for Fetterman in Pennsylvania. Who the hell knows? How stupid could they be? A lot of stupid people out there. Let me tell you. A lot of
Right, but what about Kerry Lake?
Hey,
You saw,
I
like,
know,
come on.
I know.
Yeah,
Not even a debate.
Doing.
I know. Not even a debate, and this person wins hot.
Hello.
Speaking
I
of
mean,
Kerry
look
Lake, look what's going to happen by the start of January 29th. Something's going to happen in the court cases with Kerry Lake.
Oh,
And it's-
you know what? I hope you're right, but I've heard
I
that.
hope so, but I don't think.
But I
it-
heard that so many times in the past with all these. Oh, don't worry, Trump will
The
come
courts
back.
are not, the
None of
courts
these
are
things
not
ever
gonna
happen.
overturn the elections. I think,
Right, I'll never happen that way.
ever since Bush
hope you're
versus Gore, they're not gonna do it. I mean, they didn't even look. I mean, people say, well, the courts, they looked at the Trump and they found nothing wrong. That's not true. The courts didn't look, period. And we even found out that the DOJ Barr said that, oh, we investigated. That didn't happen.
Right,
There was no investigations on
Right.
this, no court cases,
Nothing.
nothing. So it's not true that they said they said there was no fraud. They
Right.
never investigated this.
181 affidavits. 181.
Mhm.
So that's it. We
Let's-
have no Supreme Court.
Let's see what happens later on.
You're right.
Oh, by the-
From your mouth to
I
God's
hope,
ears.
I hope you're right. I want you to be right.
Mhm.
But there is another thing when he's also mentioned about the county committee, which I've been suggesting that a lot of people should be getting involved if they want good candidates and get involved in the movement.
And also work on election day if you're free. Work as a poll worker too.
I tried that as well. It was a lot of fun though.
I've done
Um,
that in the past, many years, but
I'm also gonna get ready to run for county committee myself in my state because I want to get involved in my town and I'm planning to create new registers and get those Republicans out of the closet and maybe give them some coffee to wake up. And we're going to be building a movement because we're going to take over the town. We're going to encourage people to run for positions of office from the local level, the school boards, enough to take over a legislative district.
right, the fresh start of waking up is voting Republican.
Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to start from the bottom and I'm going to climb my way to state assembly. Because my primary goal, that I said one day that someday I'm going to run for Congress.
Good.
And I will do that.
We need people to run. We need people to run. And
I said these are three things that real Republicans needed. And a true Republican stands by his principles and stands by his morals. And also the new changes needed is America first. And these are the three things that real Republicans need. You need the brains, the spine, and the balls.
Go for it.
or if you're a woman, you don't get the ball.
If they're afraid to speak up, guess what? I can say what I want, I can think what I want, and I can do what I want. If they got a problem, they know where the door's at.
There you go. Look, hopefully, we'll have free speech still, because that, the country is going to hell. But thank God we at least brought back Congress. But that's what I said, just to close the point.
I know, but too
Santos,
many rhinos.
Why would you give that seat up? How stupid.
Barely brought back Congress, which.
I
could
know,
be-
barely. So we're gonna say, hey, let's have a special election so the Democrats could win that seat. How stupid. Stop it.
Again, let
It was
the
our
ethics
people that
committee-
pushed for the investigations. You know that, right? The
What was
Nassau
that?
County, it was our people saying, oh, they're the ones that
I
made it.
know, let the ethics
Shut
committee
your mouth.
decide
Just
though.
shut your mouth and let the primary happen next time. Then you vote them out.
But again, we don't, see, it's a
They pushed it.
problem
They made
because
they made it worse. They opened their
how
mouth.
do we know he's not a run? How do we know?
No,
he's
I
not a
understand what you're saying, but he's already elected. What's the alternative? Have a
I
special
understand
election
that. I
and then the
know.
Democrat wins?
I know, it's terrible. It's a
But
terrible
he might
situation.
even be a Democrat. The guy, he lied about so much.
I
We don't
understand
know
that, but
who
you know
that
what?
guy is.
Doesn't matter. Democrats lie about a lot. And
I mean, you
so
know.
what? Now we have one on our side. See, we're equal opportunity.
And they go after one man, just one man.
No,
I said, what I even asked this question. If they hate George Santos so much, I asked a question.
it's bigger than
What
George.
what did George Santos do to you?
Well, I'm not defending George Santos. I'm sure he's whatever. But the point is, it's bigger than George Santos. This is a street fight. This is for our country. I don't give a crap what he did, whatever he's lied about. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, you have no moral. Oh, okay, I have morals. Hey, look, this way to the camps. Hey, I have morals. No way. Absolutely not. I don't give a crap what the hell he said or did or whatever. But well, I'll care about it if I was in that district on primary day, where I get to vote against him in the primary and put another Republican in. But besides that point, that ship has sailed right now. There's no way in hell
Let's
will
see
I
what happens.
tape seat up right now to give it to the Democrat. No
I
way.
agree. Let's see what happens. But I mean, you just don't know. I mean, look, I sent you that article, Glenn. I mean, we had him as a guest that that Russian radio host that won in the assembly, and he might really be a Democrat. So, what was his name? So, we just don't know. So,
Well, it is what it
Yeah.
is, and you keep what you have at the moment. You don't give it up. Yes, anyone else have a?
So who are you
Um,
talking about now? Larry?
there was, what was his name, Glenn?
Oh, never cough.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael Nabokov. Yeah.
Oh.
There was an article in the Post. I sent it
Don't always listen to anything that I don't care if it's a media or even on our side. They can't just think of one thing with the media. And I've
Yeah.
been written about a lot of times in the past. They can't get your name straight in the spelling. When someone dies, they can't do math. The guy was 70, but he was really 69. They don't know how to do math based on the date of birth and the date of death. They just don't know how to do that. So they can't do the simple things of getting the normal information out, like he was 69 as opposed to 70 or whatever. They can't figure out born April, whatever of that year and died May, that they made it to his birthday or whatever. If they can't do the simple things of getting the name right or whatever, or even when I watched it, when I was at the press conference with Lester Chang, they couldn't pronounce his name. I saw two news media outlets, NBC and
Oh God, NBC is the worst.
and I think News 12, whatever it was. They couldn't pronounce his name correctly. Okay, and I'm talking about also Robert, Peter Abadi. They call him something else too, and he's a Democrat.
Right.
They can't. Who cares what the media says? Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Don't believe what I'm saying. Don't.
No,
believe
I agree with you, Glenn, and just pointed it out there.
I understand where you're coming from too. I'm not.
And but it is something that we have to be concerned about because I mean, yeah, the Democrats, the media is going to make excuses like Lester Chang, he didn't really live here. I mean, but we have to be careful. I mean, with Santos, the point is, they're there for now, but we have to really vet our candidates and make sure they are who they are, they live in the right district, that they're clean. we need to avoid this. Now, it should have been done in the primaries or before the primaries, but I mean, this has to be taken care of because you're right. We don't want like a Chang or a Santos thrown out, so that's
Right,
the
can't have
thing.
to throw it.
I mean, the vetting process needs to be better. And also, as Joanne,
Let's concentrate on Biden. Let's get
Correct.
him. Let's get
Get him out.
the
He's the
goods
real-
on
he's
him.
the one
Biden's
making
not
paper.
going
He
anywhere.
is working for the
Well,
he
his
sold us
administration-
out.
His administration's
Let's
allowing
forget
me to
about
pay.
this other
Yeah,
guy.
but Biden's not going anywhere.
What I'm
Yes,
so-
he
saying, well,
is. Yes,
could
he is.
go.
If we make it the
Well, he
point that
could
we
go.
want him to go
Yeah,
somewhere,
Kamala. It's the same thing.
it
But
doesn't
what I'm saying
matter.
is- But what you do is you weaken them for the
Yeah.
24 election. You weaken them. That party gets weakened when they have that type of corruption.
Well, that's true. That's
exposed.
true.
That's why impeachment might not mean he's leaving office, but it will put a dent in his chain over there, meaning the party brand will be
Yeah,
dented. Let it be dented. They did it to Trump twice. When he left
Right.
office. Screw them.
Yeah.
Now it's their turn to get it.
that's what I
Okay.
mean. I mean, they can impeach Biden
Say
and they
we're above
should
them.
way more
We're
than.
above you. No. Where does that
They're
get
not
us?
getting rid of him. They're
No,
not getting.
Larry, what I'm saying is when they
I
say
know.
we're above you, okay, that works great if you were on the Titanic, right? Women and children first. Hell, I'm getting that wig on. I'm getting on that damn life. I'm getting on a life. I'm like, my principles. I'll be dead. I'll be dead in 1912. No, thank you. Okay, I'm getting on that damn lifeboat. What I'm saying is, you understand what I'm saying?
I know. And as Joanne points out, also, again, sort of trying to play more by the democratic rules, but early voting, I mean, we might not like it, but it's here to stay. And
For the
this is
moment, it
true.
is here to stay.
Republicans
Nobody
need
changes.
to take advantage of the early voting because, yeah, and we've seen this, Republicans tend to wait for
the
election
machines
day,
break.
which is what we feel is right. But by the time that comes, we're already so far behind, and you might have issues with broken machines, long
Yeah.
lines, all these
happens all the
issues.
time.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
I
Wasn't a
got a
Republican.
report, that someone went early to vote and they said there's nobody here Republican to help you. And I sent that tape out to what's his name, Zeldin's guy, and he didn't respond to me. I'm like, what the hell is that supposed to mean?
Well, I mean,
So-
but, yeah, well, we have to acknowledge this. So, right, I mean, we have
Okay,
to let so yeah, we need to be set up for Republicans to be able to early vote too and have whoever needs to help there in the polls there. So, I mean, we need to take more advantage of this.
Operation game is very important.
I mean, because that's not changing. I mean, unfortunately, we don't like it, but it's here to stay. I mean, I think, we're pretty much post-COVID. It's not going anywhere. Ranked choice voting, as was pointed out, that's not going anywhere. We just need to accept it and learn to use it to our advantage. And then I think we'll do better in the elections. So,
How's that ranked choice voting work if, let's say, for example, I put rank number one, my Republican candidate, and for the other idiots, I don't put nothing? How's that work? Linda, do you have any insight on that? With the ranked choice, so let's say I
So
just,
I taught this, but what I remember, and I'm gonna have to review it, and I will definitely for our next meeting. What happens is you will get to vote for that one person. However, if you don't take advantage, what they do, say there's 3 people or 4 people.
Okay.
The person that's lowest, got the least amount of votes, number 4, they totally discard him. Then the person that got 3rd ranking, they will take his votes and disperse them amongst number 1, number 2, and number 3, number 1 and number 2. So that you do end up having a better chance of your candidate if you do the ranked choice voting.
so for example, if I vote for Joe Schmo, Republican,
Right,
I vote, And then I see the others are icky Democrats and socialists and workers' family.
No, because in primary, you're only going to vote for Republicans.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. It's
Right.
primary. Okay.
Right,
Okay.
right.
All right. What about general election? They're not doing it in the
No.
general
No,
yet?
because we will have picked our Republican candidate.
Okay. I see what you're saying. And odds are for the Republicans, just going to be 2 people running. Unless it's 3. What district is that?
In where part of my district is, I'm going to be with that new Ari Kagan,
Okay.
who was a Democrat 4
Republican.
weeks ago.
Right.
And a guy by the name of Ragusa. And then I think a couple of others that are all going to be running for city council.
Is that Heshi
No.
Tischler?
I don't know.
I forget where Heshi is running against. What dis-
Heshi, yeah,
Yeah, Heshi. We like Heshi.
yeah, we do.
That's where he you know,
Actually, the best one of a kind person.
I love Heshi. He's hilarious. Number one, he gets the job done. And when it comes time to vote when we have a say, I'm voting for Heshi Tischler. He has my support, and I hope the party supports him. But, everyone has to have a say at the table, and hopefully he get when were we having that meeting, Linda? Do you know? For the county? Did they announce that yet? Did I miss it?
Nothing. I haven't heard a thing.
Not yet. Okay.
And
well,
as I said, a month from practically today, the 28th, the petitions come out. And
Yeah.
so if you have 2 or 3 people that
Yeah.
are running in your area, you may say, I want to carry petitions for Joe Schmoes versus
Right,
Harry
right.
Smith.
Because I only can carry for Heshi. I'm not carrying for no one else. So
Right.
then I'll just sit home and not.
But you
carry.
have to make sure that, yes, and you want to get the signatures for Heshi on the 28th.
Right.
God forbid these people, because they'll come and they'll say, well, I already signed, but they'll sign for 3 people. And it's going to count for the first person that signs.
Oh my
Wait, so you
God.
have to get all the signatures on one day?
Well,
don't
you don't
understand.
have to, but if there's,
Other
if-
people going to the same area at the same time, and how do they do it if it's the same day? Both of them.
So how-
I don't
How many
know.
signatures do you need?
Oh, I forget what city council needs.
I don't know.
It's 5% of the registered voters of that district. Generally,
Uh-huh.
5%.
Making sure that's enough, making sure to make a lot more enough for the signatures whenever they try to count the
Right,
signatures.
they want to make sure they get above 5% because signature could be wrong or whatever. They want to make sure.
Exactly. That's a very important point that
What-
Ramon was just saying, because if you don't get extra when they start crossing them off, you could be in a pickle.
So the signature process is archaic. It needs to be reformed. Talk about reform to get more people to run. Well, this archaic, I have to walk up freaking flight of stairs and knocking on doors with dogs that will come out and go through a screen door like it did to me once. Okay, where a dog just came out of a screen door and almost attacked me. This has to end. This stupid knocking on doors at weird times of night, when it's dark out, because we're talking about us doing this.
Dangerous.
We're doing this in the wintertime where we don't have much light. It's not the summertime where you have
Right.
more daylight, where you could literally knock on someone's door at 8 o'clock at night and they're like, yeah, who cares? Oh yeah, it's still light out. Hi, how can I help you? No, we're knocking on doors at 6:30, whatever. It'll still be dark out. I mean, come on. And
And knocking on doors with people that may not be happy that you're knocking on their door and come a little,
And I think Jersey, Ramon, you're in Jersey. How do they do it do they get signatures there or do they do?
We do door-to-door petitioning. Sometimes we go to the supermarkets or outside the stores, we do petitioning.
But I
'Cause
know
I-
different states do different. They do it where they pay, the candidate pays a certain amount of money to get his name on the ballot. I forget how they.
I
Oh,
asked
no.
that, and I was told that they can put up a bond.
bond, that's it, that's what.
And it's very little money is what I was told for certain positions, like $2,500 or something, you know, small amount as versus all the work we go through.
No, they need to do that here, but because it's ridiculous.
I think so too.
My bones, I have arthritis all over my body, and for me to want to go out again, there's only so much I could do.
I'm glad you put that out there, Glenn,
Right.
because I don't like what I do when I do petitionings and every other door knocking for every different candidates. I do all this for free. That's why I'm not interested in being paid to do this stuff. Because I do this out of passion and I do it to fight for the country.
Right. Well, with that being said, Ramon, we're 7 minutes past our time. In closing, I think you said February 28th is the signature horror.
That's a
We'll
Tuesday.
We'll have a February meeting, usually the third week. So we'll try to strive for the third week unless there's some holiday I'm missing. I don't think there's a holiday, is there?
I don't think
All right,
so.
we'll strive for the third week in February, probably most likely in person, but it could be Zoom barring any other foreseen circumstances.
Wait, what happened today?
No, I'm
Who has-
saying we're gonna,
No, why?
today we had a couple of our board members not feeling well. They haven't been feeling well for a while. So we couldn't have it in person. And we didn't have a guest, so it didn't matter so much. But we'll have it in person, hopefully in February. And that's just before signature time. So that means our March meeting might be a Zoom, because if I am running for district leader and some other process, and we do have a meeting, I might want to have it later in the night, like at 7 or so on a Sunday night, as opposed to 3 to 5, because if I'm running again, I'm knocking on the door at that, during that time. And Sunday, I'm only off Sunday, Monday, and the rest of the days I work from 3 to 11:30 at night. So how am I knocking on someone's door if I'm working? I think I took a week off in March, knowing that this horror is happening. But I do have a week off in March, but of course, now you remind me, Linda, that's the first signature that counts. So the week I'm off is not the first week of this process, I don't think. So whatever it is, what it is, I'm not gonna kill myself so much if I'm doing this again. But I'll work on the Sunday, Monday, whatever I could do. And then obviously my co-leader will help out. But what I'm saying is that we have a March meeting. It's probably going to be in the evening.
I know.
When is it at?
The things that I do is I say to the people, if I give them early voting, days early voting, you have to get signatures from me. And I just say it right out flat. No pulling punches.
Yeah,
you want to earn $3,000, you get me signatures.
Yeah, get me
don't?
10 signatures. Get me 10 signatures. This is a horrible process. And when does this end? It starts February 28th.
It's about a month. Yeah, it's a long time.
Oh boy. Well, I want to enjoy the rest of my Sunday now.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No. No, you bring reality. No, it's not. I'm not going to kill the messenger here. I'm glad you brought it up, because now I have a date. I didn't realize the date was February 28th. But
what I'm assuming, Glenn, is that we can, which is what I'm pretty sure, we'll pick them up the day before,
right.
At some place. And so we'll have them. And then you got to sort them for each person in what district and, what area they live. So it takes a while.
It's not. I hate this. I'm too old. Even though I'm not old, but
You're never too old. Can I run for
48,
something?
too. Yeah. You are a county committee already, so you'll be running for county committee again if you'd like.
Okay, put my name down.
I will. We'll do that when we.
But
All right, so we'll do
I
that.
represent Park Slope more, get it out there.
Yeah, well, you'll be in that district where you are living. You'll
Okay.
be the county committee member there. And also Maury, I think he's still on the line. Maury would like you to run as a county committee member also. That's about it.
Can
Yeah.
we make a voice known, like a petition to our representatives saying that we want, the facts about Biden? We want the truth to come out on where
Yeah.
he stands and the people behind him.
Well, that's your congressman, which won't be a Republican. But
Yeah, as I said, I
Call
think
Nicole's office, if anything, just call her.
the
and-
Republican, Malliotakis would probably be the best, but I do believe like Jordan, they are gonna look to investigate Biden for what
Yeah,
it's
that's
worth,
happening,
what they'll
Rudy.
see.
That's gonna
Yeah,
happen no
I
matter what.
think, I think
They
the
already said they're gonna
Republicans
do it.
are, but what comes out of it, I'm not, yeah,
Well, what will come out of it is that you will hopefully come up with like more light on the situation, like what the hell did he do? And hopefully we find out more about the Hunter
Yeah.
Biden situation. Hey, that laptop, I don't know if anyone's seen any of these leaked videos of Hunter, some of them that leaked out there. From whatever I seen, which was only snippets of it, I didn't really delve into it. It's disgusting.
yeah,
About him with young.
you don't
young
wanna,
people,
you
okay?
don't wanna see, you don't wanna
No, you don't
promote
wanna see
that.
that. So what I'm saying is, how the hell is this guy getting not arrested? That investigation started with not the laptop per se, but other investigations on him in 2018 with his business dealings. So
We-
hopefully,
We shall see.
light is put on.
There's no holidays coming up on Sundays, except, we gotta be aware of President's Day weekend, but that may or may not, because that would be the third weekend, the
Yeah,
third
it doesn't
Sunday in
matter if it's-
February, but,
If you go away,
otherwise-
go away. Otherwise, the the five people that go away enjoy, and the others.
yeah, okay, I did, otherwise
So
we should
we'll,
be
we'll
clear
strive
for
to have
that.
an in-person. So Larry, we're gonna strive to have the in-person third week of February, whatever date that is. I don't know.
Yeah, so that would be the 19th, which,
All right.
So,
We'll strive. Let's see, the 19th. Am I doing something 19th? Why does that sound familiar? The 19th.
February 19th is the third Sunday in February.
That's Super Bowl, right? Is that Super Bowl?
No, Super Bowl is the week before, I believe. I'll double check that. I think Super Bowl is the 12th. So,
All right. Well, nothing's tentative yet. I have to see.
yeah,
Why do I feel like I'm doing something on the 19th? I don't know. I think no, I'm not. I don't think I am. All right, we'll figure it out.
well,
Tentatively, it'll be February 19th, usually 3 to 5.
yeah,
And unless we want it earlier, we can figure that out.
yeah, we'll definitely let people know. Yeah, Super Bowl is the 12th, so it's okay.
And then, like I said, for the March meeting, everyone, most likely it's Zoom, because if I'm going out there getting signatures, I need every daylight hour to get this. And other people that are part of the group are probably also getting signatures too. So we might have like an
Yeah.
evening meeting. Probably
Okay.
Zoom. Evening
That's
meeting,
fine.
Zoom, probably like maybe 8. We could do an hour meeting, whatever, just to say hello.
Yeah, well,
And
yeah.
then February meeting, I'm going to try to get maybe a speaker.
Yeah, I mean,
Alex Prokaznik, maybe he's a new assemblyman.
Alec Brokazny, maybe.
I already
Okay.
spoke with him in the past, like a month ago, and he's interested in speaking with us. So
Yeah.
I will.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Why can't we do it at Heshi's office? I'm sorry. I'm really very curious.
Which day in March?
Yeah, why can't we do it at Heshi's place?
Because it's going to be a late evening one in March.
Okay.
That's why.
Um,
I was just curious, why didn't we do it today?
Well, the
That's-
guy already said there was a couple of members sick, and there
Oh,
was
okay,
for a
okay.
couple days
Okay.
prior to. That's why we switched it on Thursday. I believe we did that.
Yeah, we apologize for the late notice on this, but yeah, we had,
And since we needed today's meeting for the swearing in, so
yeah, so we had to squeeze it in, otherwise we would have postponed it, but the bylaws state that we had to have the officers sweared in during this meeting, so we had to have something, so that's why we did it on Zoom. Hopefully, February will be in person and then we'll take it from there. Yeah, we'll work on guest speakers. Nicole Malliotakis, possibly Glenn, it was suggested if we could get her as a
Oh, I
speaker.
would love. I'll look
Um,
at her in the future. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, and yes, we should put pressure on Congress. Again, this is stuff right to your Congress people about closing the borders. I mean, that's a big issue. We didn't really get into too much. We can maybe discuss that more at the next meeting, but well, we did discuss it a little bit. I mean, yeah, I mean, New York is a sanctuary state, sanctuary city, so
Yeah.
you
that
know,
really-
We should get in touch with Jetsix. Jetsix had an event in Florida. I forgot, it was closing the borders, and we should get in touch with the person who did the event on closing the borders. It was a big event.
who is it?
It's Jetsix. They did a big event on border closing, and there was a big event in Florida.
Is that Levine?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Alexandra Levine? She spoke with our group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we should get in touch with her and get in touch with the guy who is promoting closing the borders. We
Okay,
should have a candidate, well, not a candidate, just someone who is just seriously closing the borders.
All right, we'll take a look at that.
It's ideas for speakers for sure, but
We are over
we're
our,
way
And one more thing,
over.
the schools, we got to protect our schools too.
We're,
absolutely. We're 18 minutes over. I thank everyone for joining
Thank
us.
you.
thank you.
And I appreciate a nice, healthy conversation we all had about different topics of the day. And hopefully this will get us motivated to get out there in the streets and be street fighters and get our country back from the hell that we are living in right now. So we need to continuously fight for our Constitution and continually fight for our rights, because don't think our rights can't be taken away. We've learned during, a pandemic that our rights can easily be taken away from us. Stay
That's
home.
right.
Don't do this. Do this now or lose your job. Don't think we are living in Orwell's world. Don't think we're not. And don't think we can't continue it. That's why we always have to fight. You always fight for your rights. They will take it away if you don't fight. So thank you, everyone, for showing up today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Until next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank
There's a
you.
saying,
Good
the
night.
fight, the battle to save America continues.
Amen.
That's right.
That's right.
Thank you.
Godspeed, President Trump.
Yes. we
Or
love-
Trump.
That's why I love Trump. Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
We're gonna win.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
All right, bye-bye.